Doyen. Do y'all know what doyen means? Let me tell y'all what doyen means, because you know what? She had to school me. I was like, what is doyen? She was like, girl, go look it up. So I did. Love Doyen is at the top of their game, the best in their class, okay? So she is beloved Doyen, which is French, for what I just said. An extreme expert in dating, matchmaking, and relationships. She services a global upscale clientele from Europe, West Africa, to her home in the United States, with a 90% success rate of those who find themselves and find real lasting love. She is responsible for long-term couples, engagements, marriages, and babies. So if y'all trying to buy some babies, she can make that happen. She has been featured in Success Magazine, Black Enterprise, Plus Model, Upscale, Rolling Out, and Ebony, just to name a few. Nikisha Michelle is also a Hollywood TV personality, and you may have seen her on HGTV's Crowded House. I don't know if you guys watch HGTV, I do. Also on the OWN network in The Flex with Shanice Wilson, the Flex and Shanice Wilson reality show, okay? She's happily married to Boyo and the mother of Cece and my favorite Izzy. Nikisha Michelle is the founder of the Ready Woman Code, in which I am one of her problem childs. She prepares women to succeed in life and self-love and relationships with ease. I want to introduce to you the founder of Ultimate Match Agency and Talk Date Love Singles Mixer, Nikisha Michelle Q.
So for this one, y'all gotta hook up with your sisters. You need a partner for this. So I don't want you to hook up with who you've been talking to the whole night. Let's switch. Switch! Yeah, let's do some blind dating. Switch! Where the music? Pump the DJ, pump the music. We gotta switch. Switch! Because y'all get comfortable real fast. We gotta make you uncomfortable. Love is about being uncomfortable. Right. He said, right? Amen. Y'all got a partner? Yeah. Y'all ready? Yeah. Did y'all get a new partner? We did. Y'all sure? Y'all look familiar. Y'all look like y'all been knowing each other for years. You sure? Okay. She said, we just met. Okay. So what I want you to do is look at your partner. Say diva.
Hey diva.
I need you to know.
I need you to know.
These next 90 days.
These next 90 days.
You are going to experience.
You are going to experience.
Effortless.
Effortless.
Sweatless.
Sweatless.
Favor.
Favor.
And victory.
And victory.
Say, girl, don't you know?
Girl, don't you know?
It's about time.
It's about time.
All right. All right. So this is what I want you to tell her one more time. Say this. I deserve it.
I deserve it.
I done been through hell and back.
I've been through hell and back.
It's mine.
It's mine.
It's got my name on it.
It's got my name on it.
Don't be jealous.
Don't be jealous.
I want you to go with me.
I want you to go with me.
Let's do this together. All right. Yes. So what I want to talk to you beautiful ladies about, we're talking about beauty plus brains equals power. But in my line of work, what I have noticed is that most women only know how to use half their power. And that half of the power is intellect. Intellect, the ego. Our IQ, our intellect IQ, we're very smart, yes?
Yes.
But have you ever noticed, you're like, I'm a smart woman. I did well in school. I'm doing good in my career. But I ain't always happy. I done worked hard to get to where I am, but I ain't always happy. I'm always still striving for more. Or I seem to do good at being the boss, but I can't do good over in the relationship. Something always in my relationship keeps me feeling like I'm not enough. And that's because when it comes to interpersonal relationships, you can't do it with intellect. See, somebody told us if we just be smart and go to school and focus on our goals, we can have it all. So look at your sister and say, I do want it all.
I do want it all.
I do deserve it all.
I do deserve it all.
And the love doyen is about to show me how to get it all. That's right, I am. And if you don't have faith to believe, I have enough faith for you. I've been waiting for tonight. So here's the deal. I had a client. You know, in Hollywood, it just seemed like everybody got everything going on. You're on TV, they're beautiful, they pay for nice bodies. They got a lot of money, they drive Range Rovers and fly on jets, but yet they come to me. I'm like, what is the problem? The reason they come, they sometimes feel like, I have all of this, but yet I don't feel complete. I'm not happy. So I start looking at it like, well, what's the problem for real? The love relationships. When women don't succeed in love, it makes them feel like everything else they accomplish, they still feel insecure about. And that was even true for me. I have been a director in foster care and adoption. My whole life I was a social worker. The youngest director ever. Did things in social work that they said could never be done by somebody in their 20s, but I did it. But at the end of the day, I was still getting abused. I was still getting abandoned, rejected, hurt. And so it didn't matter what all I accomplished. It didn't feel like I had accomplished anything, because what matters, you know, is to have all this stuff, but then the one thing that you really, really want, you cannot have. So I went back to the client and I said to myself, excuse me, what is it that us successful, beautiful women can't master our relationships? And I'm not just talking about with men or lovers, with each other. How many women say, oh, I don't do women, I can't do women. I can't do it. I can't trust them. Women are a trip. Interpersonal relationships. So I'm about to give y'all the secret sauce. Hello. Say, girl, tell your sister, girl, I'm glad I made it tonight. I'm about to learn the code to have it all. The code is intellectual ego. You feed that. You spend a lot of time feeding that. So it's going to grow. But when it comes to interpersonal relationship, you have to feed your emotional intelligence. That's the key. Emotionally, we are a bunch of 13, 12-year-old little girls trapped in adult bodies trying to have relationships with people. So then what happens is you use your left hand to build and build and build, but then you tear it down with your right hand through sabotage, because you're thinking with your emotional 13-year-old self when you got bullied on the playground or you were molested by Uncle Johnny or whatever. So we have to learn to not only feed our intellect, but to feed those emotions. Because if you become self-aware, you'll know how to play in a play box, in a sandbox, as I say, with other little girls and other little boys. Without getting mad and saying, give me my toys back, I don't like you anyway, and your mama stink. Because that's what we do. They make us mad and we tear it up, we go busting out windows and all of that kind of stuff. That's what I'm talking about. Emotional intelligence. Let me tell you, intellect will keep you driving in fear-based mode. Fear-based mode. fear of not being enough, fear of not having, and fear of being hurt. How many of you lead your lives now with a fear? I'm a fearing. I'm gonna do this before I get hurt. Or I don't wanna be hurt, so I'm gonna do it like this. Ain't no man go ever. So we lead like that. But yet we say, I want love. So how do you get love out of fear? The two are day and night. They can't reside in the same temple. You're always going to be a conflict. So when you don't have love, you operate out of fear, and fear comes from intellect. But what makes me so amazing at what I do is because I was my own best client. I was my own worst. Sinead thinks she's the worst. I was the worst. It took me 6 months to realize people were treating me the way I didn't want to be treated because my energy was fear-based. So they were sent to reinforce the life that I knew. So in order to cross the street or transform or renew myself, I had to divorce fear. But here's what happens. You can't just say, I ain't gonna fear no more. You gotta do an exchange. So the exchange that I did was called BLISS. Say, girl, don't you wanna go to BLISS? Honey, BLISS is it. Tell your sister, I'm gonna be a BLISS babe. Let me tell you what BLISS is. We're talking about emotional IQ. To build your emotional IQ and become self-aware, you do it with BLISS. BLISS is heaven. Who don't want to be in heaven? Right. That's why I can get any man I want. Even if they say they don't like a plus-size woman, they come in heaven. They don't know what I am. That's why at 6 months I had 6 proposals. But I didn't choose from my intellect. I chose from my BLISS. What is BLISS? I'm about to blow y'all away. This is the way you can see if you're in fear or in BLISS. BLISS is my beauty. Am I okay with who I see staring back at me? BLISS is love. Have I learned not only to give love, but to receive it? And am I not judgmental about who can give me love and who I will receive it from? Am I intuitive? You can't be intuitive unless, like Stacy said, you are meditating. So your prayers are going up. It's just your suggestion to God. But God said, okay, I got it. I bottled it up. Be quiet now. Now I'm going to tell you what the deal is. I'm going to grow your spirit. So that's intuition. So you don't have to go from intellect and fear when your intuition is strong. Sensuality. You ain't afraid of who you are right where you are.
Yes,
Can you sashay it?
Yes.
When you walk in a room, are you timid and scared? You don't want anybody looking at you. Or when you walk in a room, you're like, the party's here. Significance. Have you arrived in your purpose? Not your career, your purpose, your ministry. Because until you have your significance down pat, your BLISS is not going to be complete. But let me tell you what happens when you walk into your BLISS. Your energy is so high, the low vibrational people that you used to attract can't even penetrate. But if they do, they get transformed because love conquers all. So you don't got to be scared of your sisters who ain't about nothing. Because you know she stepped to you, she going to end up being like you. Because you ain't scared no more. BLISS allows me to have that 90% success rate with helping women find love. BLISS allows me to be able to go all over the country, all over the world, and affect change. If you want BLISS, look at your sister and say, girl, I need this BLISS. It allows you to be happy. And people say there's a difference between joy and happy. I don't know what the difference is, but I know I'm happy. So listen, you have to have intellect plus emotional intelligence, because intellect alone is half a power, but emotional intelligence, you have the both, then you're full of power. So stop using half your power and use all your power. And if you need me to help you, it's in the book over here, The Ready Woman. A blissful woman is a ready woman. Thank you.